Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. How you doing? I think this will be fascinating. I love reacting to this type of stuff. Interesting maps. These are interesting maps of Europe. Where right off the bat, I must say, this is pretty fascinating, partly because I found another map. See, this is the map where Europeans would choose to live if they could choose. Okay? Like, I guess it's just their number one choice if they could choose. Which already is crazy. It's just Germany. And then Switzerland. What's with that? Everyone to the east wants to go to Germany. Everyone to the west wants to live in Switzerland. And I mean, you've got Ireland saying America. You've got Turkey saying America. That's interesting. I had no idea it would be like Turkey that says they want to move to America. I mean, this is, of course, a few years old. At this point, probably no one wants to move to America and Europe. I understand that. But look at this. This is where Europeans actually migrate to. And, I mean, it's also a bunch of Germany, but it's also, it becomes a lot more complicated. We've got, like, a lot of Germany. Turkey ends up going to Germany, which I knew that. I think Turkey is the number one as far as, like, immigrants in Germany. I think Turkey's number one, if I remember correctly. But the UK, they go to Australia. Wow, that's a far travel. Okay, obviously there's a rich history there, but wow. Most people in the UK go to Australia. I would have never guessed. And then, is that Malta? Go to Australia as well? Huh? And then a bunch more. See, I always get France and the Netherlands. This is the Netherlands. Obviously, it makes more sense just geographically that Portugal and Spain, they go to France. France goes to Spain. But a bunch of people from these Eastern countries also go to the Netherlands. And then Germany goes to America. And then randomly, you've got Norway and Finland going to Sweden. But the Swedes go to America. I don't know. This is just very interesting to me. It's very interesting. It's also interesting because this map shows a ton of people want to live in Switzerland. But this map shows that, and I think Switzerland has the highest cost housing in the world, right? It's a small country, rich country. So it's just not, everybody wants to move there apparently, but it's just not feasible. Italy goes to Germany. Greece to Germany. It's interesting to me. This is just very interesting to me. And then is this Latvia goes to the UK? Is that Latvia? I've got the, at the end of every year, this will be the third time I do the European country quiz. So this is important that these moments where I get to look this type of thing up. That's Lithuania. Latvia is in the middle. They go to the Netherlands. Interesting. I mean, okay, we need to move on. I just think this map is super interesting, especially compared when you pair it with this map. And look at that. The Norwegians and the Finnish, they move to where they want to move. They move to Sweden. That's where they want to, and that's where they do. A lot of people can't say that, interestingly enough. A lot of people apparently don't get to move to where they want or where their number one would be. Let's move on. Genetic map of Europe. This could get a little bit dicey. I don't know what any of that means. It's probably for the best. Oh, it's up here. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm definitely not going to decipher all that except to say that a huge amount of West Europe is red, which is Celtic, Basque, Italic, Frisian, Saxon, and then a huge amount of Eastern is Slavic. Of course. Huh. Interesting to see it laid out like that. It would actually be more interesting to see this over time, like how the graphs have changed over time. Now, what do we got here? Areas of the U.S. as European countries of equal GDP. What? That's awesome. This is fascinating. So, you put Montenegro and Bulgaria together, and it equals just Hawaii. Actually, no, not even. No, I'm sorry. That's Alaska. Holy shit. That was a fail. That's Alaska. This is obviously Hawaii. And that's Iceland and Luxembourg. Luxembourg's GDP is big. I mean, relative to its size. So I'm actually surprised in that. I would have definitely thought Luxembourg's GDP was way bigger than Hawaii's. But it's actually not. It's actually, you need Luxembourg and Iceland combined. Germany, wow, look at that. That shows how huge Germany's GDP is. Because, I mean, California's GDP is massive. And Germany's got all of the West Coast. All of it. France eats up all of Florida and then some. Although these states right here aren't particularly high GDP, but still. Spain eats up most of Texas and New Mexico. Oh, that's interesting. The UK. This is where I'm from. I'm from Indiana right here. So, yeah, this is interesting. It's genuinely very interesting. And of course, it also does illustrate just how big the American economy is. All of these European countries added together, which of course is partly just because America has a way bigger population than any of those individual countries. Anyway, median household income U.S. versus Europe. Wow. I mean, I can't, how do I get a higher resolution? The hell? Well, the resolution on this sucks. I can't even read the actual figures. Interestingly, Canada is fully included in this as well, and all of the Canadian provinces. You can really see how rich California is. And to be honest, I didn't realize how rich freaking like New Jersey is. And like Delaware. Now this is per capita, which is a little bit different. Latitudes, how North America lines up with Europe. Oh, look at that. So the USA, let's look at where I'm at. That's really quite eye-opening, actually. Because I'm located about here, in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea. See, like, normally, just intuitively, I kind of just think, like, I'm almost at the same latitude as freaking, like, Germany or something. But I'm not. It's not even close. It's not even close. Germany's up here in the middle of Canada. Just shows it's a lot cooler in a lot of Europe. I'm closer to the same latitude as Spain, like Madrid. And even then, I mean, that's actually, it's significantly higher. I'm here. I'm like all the way in the southern tip of Spain. Huh. Americans are more likely than Europeans to say growing diversity makes their country a better place to live. Oh, isn't that actually, that's actually pretty fascinating. I mean, America is kind of like founded on a lot of diversity. And we're always taught since kids, like, you know, we're the melting pot. And people from, you know, that's what makes us great. Is people from all around the world can move here. You can't move to Japan and become Japanese. But a Japanese man can move to America and become American. Yeah. I'm kind of interested in the comments here. There are so many things to hate Americans, but not this one. You know, I'll take that. I'll take that. There's so many things to hate about America, but not this. This is fun. This is comparing country sizes to states. So that's Sweden. It's hard to actually see, but it's significantly bigger than California. Okay, so Sweden's actually gigantic. That's the UK. It is interesting to think the UK is not as big as Texas. Also, that doesn't even look like the UK. Oh, it's sideways. God, I'm stupid sometimes. I'll admit it. It's sideways. Okay. Still. And Germany. I mean, it is. I mean, on one hand, it's pretty big, but it's not that big. But its GDP is massive. It's so funny to think of just how much impact economically and culturally a relatively small country. Also, the population is pretty big. You know, it's like over 80 million. So, and they all squeeze into what ends up being the size of, like, well, almost the size of Texas or California. Ukraine is huge. I mean, on one hand, I say Ukraine's huge. On the other hand, it's about the size of Texas. Actually, that's interesting because I said Ukraine was huge, but I said that before actually even really interpreting this. And now that I interpret this, I'm like, oh, Ukraine's not as big as I thought. Or, I mean, I guess it is. I don't know. You could think of it either way. Either Texas is even bigger than I give it credit for, or Ukraine's not as big as I thought. I was thinking Ukraine was freaking huge. I was thinking Ukraine was like a third the size of USA. I don't know what made me think that. Or like a fourth. Things aren't always what they seem on the surface. 12,000 years ago, Britain was connected to Europe until a tsunami from a submarine landslide off Norway inundated whatever remained of Doggerland. What the fuck? That's mind-blowing. I mean, 12,000 years ago, that was a while ago. Still pretty mind-blowing. I mean, it was a while ago, but it also wasn't that long ago, you know? I don't know. How long ago was Pangea when all the shit was just connected? The Paleozoic. 538 million years ago. That's a lot longer than 12,000 years ago. I was not under the impression Pangea was 12,000 years ago, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I'm not that dumb. But it's interesting that the UK was connected like that 12,000 years ago. But, you know, the whole world wasn't connected until like 500 million years ago or something like that. Well, it says early Mesozoic. So let's see. So 250 million years ago. Madrid has the highest life expectancy of the EU, 85.4 years. Blows America out of the water. Jesus. Madrid. That's a little bit random. Madrid has just an insane life expectancy. And I mean, I would like to have America included in this one because America's is pretty pathetic. That's one thing that really illustrates, especially considering our healthcare system is good. It's our access to the healthcare system that is awful. And I mean, that kind of intertwines. Like, part of the healthcare system is absolute dog shit. And it's the part of it where it gives people access to the healthcare. Am I making any sense? And it's so bad that despite the healthcare being high quality, our life expectancy overall is bad. It's not even close to 84 years. Damn, Hong Kong is 85. Let's see, like, where is USA? Where is it? All the way at 55. 79. I'm actually surprised we're about to hit 80. I guess life expectancies have just gone up. For a while there, they actually went down here in America during COVID. But I guess since then, they have actually gone up, I guess. There's a lot of numbers here. I'm just making sure I'm interpreting this correctly. A male is only 76, but a female is 81. Is there any country where men live longer than women? That's my question. Let me go all the way back up. 88 in Hong Kong to 82, 81, 87, 81, 87, 80, 81, 86. Holy crap. Holy crap, holy crap. I wonder if there's a single country where men live longer. It's not like I can go through all of them, but I'm not seeing one. If they exist, I am not seeing it. But what's a little bit interesting here is I would have thought Germany would be higher. Like, I guess GDP, I mean, America certainly proves this. GDP does not directly correlate. It certainly correlates to an extent, but it's not the only factor in like GDP per capita toward life expectancy. You know what I'm saying? It's certainly a factor because poor countries just can't afford to have good quality health care, as this map does also show. But there's something that Spain is doing that is like just, I don't know what Spain is doing that's so amazing. Oh, this is awesome. It's the pedestrian signs in Europe. Where's the German dude? Now, what the hell? That's not even the German. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of the German, like this guy. This is iconic. That ain't this. That's boring. Can I even trust this map? I mean, I guess that's a different sign. To be fair, that we're not talking about like the light walking signal. We're talking about a sign. But I'm a little bit disappointed. Anyway, so this is pedestrian signs. That's funny that in Poland they're just standing still. I don't know if there's some kind of deeper meaning you could read into that. I'm just saying that's interesting how they're the only ones where they're standing still. Watch out for those pedestrians who aren't even moving. And then they either walk left or right. What can you read into that? I don't know what to read into that. In Russia, they're walking to the right. In a lot of Eastern countries, they're walking to the right. Oh, you know what? Politically, guys. This is a conspiracy theory. In the right-wing countries, they walk to the right. Most of Western Europe is walking to the left. Oh, look! The UK is walking to the right because of Brexit! Oh my god, I figured it all out. It's the Illuminati. Whoa. I like this perspective of Europe. I mean, it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Here's frickin' Spain and the UK. Everyone lives here. Like a huge amount of people live here. The weather must be nice right here. Right here. You got the beach. Nice place to live, huh? Right there. Wow. Those were truly fascinating. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.